Hello and welcome to the all new, all different Geeks Unleashed. Jasmine has left and it's just me, but it isn't just me. A dear friend of mine, we had some conversations and has agreed to come on to what is now the all new, all different Geeks Unleashed. So just wanted to quickly say, look, obviously 5 years with Jasmine, obviously I went through a turmoil of emotions, shall we say. But then this thing in me came back to life and I thought, well, I love Geeks Unleashed. And also, when I first came onto this platform, it was, to be honest with you, the only people I knew was really me and Jasmine. And over the last 5 years, actually made some really good friends. And a really good friend of mine has stepped up. And I'm going to bring him on now. Welcome aboard, Steph.
Oh, yo, sorry, I thought my camera, I didn't know I'd cut my camera off.
Right.
Hello, happy to be here. Shout out to Jasmine. I just want to say, I'm more of a placeholder, until she's ready to come back, just helping keep the lights on. But I'm excited.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. No, you're not going anywhere now. You're here for the next 5 years. So so we were meant to go. So just to it's actually a lot of this is all throwing me off. Right, okay. So the reason that stuff's throwing me off is technical issues, which actually was my end. I thought it wasn't my end, but it was my end. And no, it's fine. And just bumbling our way through, getting used to technology, etc. And anyway, do you know what's weird is how it was set up this evening was exactly how it was set up last week. So okay, and for some reason it didn't like working the way it did. So this is going to go live on YouTube, and also we're going to do what we did last week. We're going to drop the audio onto podcasting platforms, so you can listen away on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, Podbean, etc. I think Spotify seems to be one of the main podcasting platforms now.
Sorry.
That's fine. I was going to say, look, Jasmine normally does this bit, but before we get started, if you're on YouTube, please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also hit that little bell. Also, please leave us a comment and, on Spotify, YouTube, etc. Also, please leave us 5-star reviews wherever you can leave 5-star reviews. We'd much appreciate it. So that was a bit new for me, but also we do have a Ko-Fi. If you'd like to put a couple of quid in the little Ko-Fi, we'd appreciate it. These things cost money, and every little helps. So, but before we jump into anything, this is a new show. We're sort of obviously going to fumble our way through it. And Steph has been on many times in the past, but I just sort of thought it'd be good for Steph to sort of introduce himself. Like, Steph, where are you in the world, so people know?
I hail from Detroit, Michigan. I'm not currently in Detroit itself, shortly outside of it, but grew up there most of my life. A Michigan guy through and through. Just a comic movie, video, pop culture. I love pop culture, hence why I love Geeks Unleashed. They love pop culture. I'm just a big geek, a walking encyclopedia of pop culture knowledge. One day, hopefully I'll be able to put it to the test and put it to some use, and it'll get me something back besides just being the proud geek that I am.
Oh, I love that. And for our listeners and watchers, what would you say was your sort of first exposure, which got you interested in either comics or pop culture? There must have been a moment that clicked with you.
Man, I want to say, I feel like it's if you are a child of the 80s or early 90s, I feel like a lot of people's first, if you love the X-Men, I feel a lot of exposure is owed to the animated series.
Oh, yeah.
That came out in 92. I had just turned 4. And I was collecting comics. I started collecting comics because of the X-Men cartoon, but I wasn't necessarily reading it but the cartoon. Like it was Wolverine. I thought he was probably the most badass, coolest thing ever. You know, like as a kid, I had a very vivid imagination. Like I loved Wolverine so much. I was like, Mom, are you sure Wolverine couldn't possibly be my father? You know, are you sure? Like, and she's like, I'm pretty sure. You know, but it was definitely the X-Men cartoon, and that sent me. I was like, I think I was at Toys R Us, and back in the day at Toys R Us, they used to actually sell comics. They would have like a 3-pack, if I'm remembering correctly, and some of them would be like miscellaneous, mixed and matched, and then some of them were like X-Men centric, and I had grabbed like an X-Men centric one, and I don't remember the other two titles, but the first issue I remember reading of Uncanny X-Men was issue 160, where the X-Men go. It's actually Ilyana becomes magic in that issue, but they go to limbo, and they're like meeting future versions of themselves, and like Storm's met an older version of himself. Nightcrawler's like a demon in some sort of way, and it just kind of blew my mind, because I was like, what? This is not the X-Men I know of. Some of these mutants I don't even know, because Colossus wasn't in the cartoon or on the squad. So I was like, who are these people? And yeah, that just, ever since then, I never let go. Been a fan. Here we are 30 plus years later.
Oh yeah, amazing. I just thought, right, okay. Just realized there was something I wanted to add on the screen. This system is quite new to me, so apologies. There's two more questions I actually wanted to ask. I'm actually quite interested by your response. I actually wrote these down earlier. What would be your favorite pop culture hot topic right now to debate with people? Like, do you have one?
Ooh,
I know you love a debate, so
I do. I was gonna say I'm trying to select so many. I can't choose a specific one right now. I guess I always like to say I'm ready for the smoke. Whatever topic comes up and I find interesting or fascinating, passionate about, I'll debate. I can't think of a specific one right now, to be honest. Nothing's really chapping my ass or grinding my gears lately, where I'm like, I'm always up for a debate, but nothing's like really, I'm like, man, that every time I see it, it's like just irritating me. Hot top. I guess a good one, a good default I always like to go back on is Hulk 180, 181.
Oh yeah, the first.
You can't meet someone for the first time twice.
Yeah.
Wordplay. Maybe, but 180 is Wolverine's first appearance. I get the whole cameo bit, but it's like Wolverine. You see him in full clothing. He says his name. You know who he is. You see what he looks like, and the last panel of the page. That's first appearance. I don't play that cameo. See, okay, if we're getting into logistics, it's like Damian Wayne's first appearance, for instance, right? It was like 6:55, but it's really only him in the shadows, and it's like his voice. You don't know what he looks like. You don't know his name. So I get that whole cameo argument. But if a character shows up, you see what they look like, they say their name and everything, I think that's a first appearance. But I guess that's always a good one that always, if someone's like, yeah, I got the first appearance of Wolverine 181, I'm like, I guess I'll give first full appearance.
I know what you mean, like the first cameo, first appearance. It's like,
yeah.
What? So I remember like Mary Jane's first cameo. It's kind of like the back of her head. So I feel like sometimes that's like, you can argue that because that's like the back of the head. It's not that's not a true first appearance to me.
Right.
But if it's like they show the face or the figure and it's on the last page, that for me is a first appearance. So
same.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good hot button topic that always kind of gets me going.
Okay, look, there's one last question and then we'll get into the show. If you could choose one superhero to have their own TV show who's never had their own TV show, like nothing.
Yeah, I think it's already in the works, but I've wanted this for years. I've been a big Booster Gold. I like people that are underestimated, like Guy Gardner. I'm glad he's in the DCU, but I don't, he's a character people aren't too fond of that actually really appreciate. But Booster Gold, I think, would make for an amazing. I think actually, it's crazy. It's taking James Gunn to pull the trigger on this character. It seems like that would be up his wheelhouse in terms of like his humor and like the Peacemaker arc, for instance. Without getting too ahead of ourselves, is like that whole redemption arc of a character trying to be more, make up and be more than what they are, that could easily be Booster Gold right there, you know, because Booster Gold is taken as a joke for the longest time. And there was a specific run where it was he was going through time trying to fix shit, but the catch was nobody ever knew he was the one who was saving the day. You know, everyone still thought he was a joke, but meanwhile Booster Gold was in the background being the hero, and he never got, you know, I find that very fascinating. But I think Booster Gold would make for an amazing live action property.
That's a good choice, yeah. I think, and with Guy Gardner being there, seeing Guy and Booster on the screen together would be amazing. So
yeah,
those are good choices. Right, okay. So for this week's episode, we are just gonna not go through all of the news because there's way too much, but we're gonna go through sort of a bit of a summary of the New York Comic Con news. We're gonna go through some of the comic book announcements and TV stuff, and have a bit of a chat about all of it. I have written down some of it just in case I forget. I've thrown a little screen slideshow together, so for our podcast listeners, this is not going to be as enjoyable, but here we go. Right, I'm going to jump into the comic book stuff, and hopefully this will work. So hold on a second.
Nice.
There we go. Hopefully this works like this. Right, okay. So there's been an announcement that January next year, Joshua Williamson will be returning to Marvel for Iron Man,
which is wild.
And yeah, I think this is like the first time in 10 years that he's been gone from Marvel.
Yeah, the only thing I remember him writing, it was during Secret Wars. I think it was this called Red Skull, Battle World Red Skull. I forget. It was actually pretty good. It was only like 3 issues, but he shortly got snatched up by DC after that, like during the Rebirth phase. I think it was like, I don't know if they made him exclusive before Flash or shortly after he got Flash going, but you know, his Flash run has been one of the more solid superhero runs in the last 10 years, I'd say, especially on DC. But to be honest, with the work he's put in on Flash, I'm excited to see him on Iron Man. Like, I think if done right, like we haven't really gotten a solid long Iron Man run since Matt Fraction's run. And I feel like if done right, Williamson could turn out another great run like Fraction. Like he could be the next, because he likes to play, he pulls from the past and plays with history, and he does a lot of things fans enjoy. So I think that would work in Iron Man's favor, especially like, you know, with the cover alone, we're getting like images of like hints of like the Dark Reign era, Thunderbolts, like all these different parts of Iron Man's history or different eras are kind of on that cover.
I'll go back to that. Yeah, like on this cover here, I love the fact that we got Citizen V, it's
Madam Mask.
Yeah, oh yeah, all that, yeah, and I'm not sure who this is. Is that Mary Jane, or it could be Pepper Potts?
Yeah, that's Mary Jane was his I guess his Pepper. I forget his assistant.
Actually, no. Do you know what? Do you know what? There's Pepper Potts. No, there is Pepper Potts, and there is a lady below with a bag. So that could.
Oh yeah, that's Mary Jane. Yeah, that's Mary Jane. And she was his assistant during Bendis's Iron Man run.
Yeah. So then you've got Norman Osborn as well. Do you know what? I've not been excited. Yeah, I've not been excited for Iron Man for years. I've maybe dabbled in the odd issue, but nothing's ever hit me. So I'm going to get this. I'm going to at least grab the first arc. But
with the longevity that Williamson puts into his writing, I think he's a very solid writer. But I think a problem that happened, but Marvel, mostly DC, are rectifying this. But they were putting a lot on newer writers the first couple of years. Like Williamson kind of became the it guy without. We won't get into the whole spiel, but back in the day, writers kind of had to earn their way to the top before they got big events. And not to say Josh Williamson didn't deserve it, but it seems like he kind of just started having all these titles thrown at him a couple years ago, and he had just it seemed very fast tracked. But I don't know, with the way he actually churned out his Flash run, I think it could be really, really. That's all, because that was like. In similar comparison to the length of Fraction's Iron Man run, you know, the longest run I feel like I know of that Williamson has done. So if he can do that for Iron Man, like you said, I haven't been excited or curious about to check out an Iron Man book in a couple of years. Like Duggan had a run, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Jerry Duggan's a solid writer, but I'll be honest, I wasn't like, I'm going to check out that first issue. You know, this one I'm going to check out the first issue for sure.
Cool. Oh, let's move on to so the after All In, they've announced DC Next Level. Do you know what, this might not work. I might have to pull this over here. Right, okay. We've only got a few things here. So Greg Rucka and Danny are on Batwoman. Joshua Williamson is on Legion of Superheroes. Scott Young and sorry.
Oh no, that seems like a cool. I'm curious about Josh Williamson and Legion.
And yeah, Scotty Young's on a Lobo book, which seems strange.
Jorge Corona. Okay.
Yeah. Out of all of those, that we don't know that much about all of these, but anything you're particularly excited for?
Oh yeah. I did Jamal Campbell, whatever he does, I love his art. He's an artist. It's cool to see him grow because I actually discovered him on Instagram before he started doing actual comic work. It was like 2014, and I think like the first comics I picked up from him were like around the 2017. I think it was like a Prowler miniseries. But I love Jamal Campbell. Scotty Young, Jorge Corona. You can't really go wrong when they're coming together. Lobo seems like a great fit for him. But the one I'm most interested in is Batwoman. Greg Rucka. You know, he's returning to his character. Danny is her art is fucking masterful. I think she's a great fit, to be honest, for Batwoman. There's a character called Mother Panic that I always kind of was like, man, a short run from the DC Young Animal imprint, but I always wanted that, yeah. I've always thought like Danny would be a good fit for that character, and it's like because Batwoman was in that, but it's like maybe this is just me wishful thinking, that random, but I'm hoping maybe Mother Panic will make an appearance in Batwoman. But yeah, definitely Batwoman. Yeah. Oh, what's James Herron doing? I didn't even see that.
I don't know. They didn't have them all. They haven't allocated. They don't seem to have allocated all their names of all of them yet. But this is what I found. So
well, whatever he's on, I would definitely check out as well. His sick artist, bro. Did you read?
I'm interested. Sorry, did I read what? Sorry.
Ultra Mega.
Ultra Mega. I don't think so.
It's an indie book.
I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. No, I didn't read it. Okay. Wasn't that first issue like £8 or $7.7?
Yeah, it was like $7-8.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, I didn't buy that.
They're double sized though.
Yeah, no, I know. I think it just put me off, and then I just never went back to it. But maybe I should see if there's a collected version rather than pay. Yeah, probably a collected version, probably the same price.
Yeah, right. Cheaper.
Yeah, out of all of that, I'm interested about Barbara Gordon Breakout. That kind of is strange. Like I'm interested to see what the story is. And then I love Batwoman. Yes. I'm imagining Shadow of the Bat is probably something like an anthology or something not linked to the other two as the other titles as much.
I'm glad they're bringing that title back, though, to be honest.
Oh yeah. I remember that when I first got into comics in the 90s, Batman and Superman, they had like too many books, so
Batman hasn't slowed down.
No, well, yeah, but no. I think Batman makes up about 70% of DC's roster, so.
I'm curious to see who's doing the Demon though.
Right,
that's on. Like James Herron.
Right, okay, so DC KO, this really like caught me. So in the third issue of DC KO, it comes out in January, they're going to be going into pocket universes, and we're going to get to see Sub-Zero, Vampirella, Annabelle, Homelander, Red Sonja. I assume Sam is the bear. I don't know who the bear is.
That's from Beneath the Trees, that new comic book.
Okay, I've not read that. Yeah, I've not read that. But honestly, when I saw Homelander, I was like, finally, I've had this like dream of Homelander and Superman going up against each other.
Oh, so I mean, I'm curious to see how this will play out, though. To be honest, I like. I don't know if we're actually gonna get that. Like, I think we might get cameos, and like just the character's gonna pop up in their universe, and you might see like Sub-Zero training or fighting in the background. I don't necessarily. I mean, I haven't looked into this, but I don't know if they'll go that distance. Like, what is it? It's just a glorified cameo at the end of the day. You know, you're really not gonna get too much story meat out of this. But I
Oh
guess it
yeah, I
is
know.
cool.
I think it's a cool move by DC because they must be having to pay licensing fees for this.
I mean, but it's reminiscent of their Mortal Kombat stuff, you know, because every like the last, I guess since X Mortal Kombat 10, they've always done like DLC characters where it's like Rambo is in one of them, Terminator, Xenomorph, Michael Myers, like they'll do random characters in the Ninja Turtles. I think were in Injustice. I think it was Injustice. But you know that's I feel like that's I guess it is cool in that sense because it's a homage to the video game. But I don't know. I just story wise, I don't see it really going anywhere. Like it's like, oh snap, Sub-Zero's in a DC comic or he's on page with Superman. That's about as cool as it's gonna
would I
get.
be right in thinking so? DC initially published The Boys, the first arc or maybe 12 arcs, and then they didn't like it, and then they moved it to Dynamite, or it went to Dynamite. I'm pretty sure that they didn't.
Did it?
I'm sure I'm right in remembering that. So it's just interesting to see Homelander kind of in a DC comic. Yeah. So
Yeah, I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that. Was it like
I'm
DC
pretty
straight
sure.
up?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was under Wildstorm. That was it. It was under Wildstorm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
I
always get
remember
confused
something.
by how that works out because it's like Wildstorm's owned by DC, but like even back in the day before they incorporated Wildstorm into the DC roster, like you'd still see certain like indie titles pop up in the image and stuff sometimes of different characters. I was always confused by how the
So
Wildstorm.
Wildstorm was how Image Comics was originally set up was they had studios. So you had Top Cow Studio and various others, including Wildstorm, and then which was owned and run by Jim Lee, and then Jim Lee eventually sold his studio Wildstorm to DC, and Wildstorm was basically a separate imprint underneath DC. Kind of was run on its own thing for a while, and then they eventually folded Wildstorm. And when they did the New 52, they kind of incorporated some of those characters into DC, and they seem to fade in and out. Sometimes they bring Grifter in, or they seem to pull from them here and there. So I think it's like they choose. I think what I get from DC is they seem to choose if they're in continuity or not. So
Mark, give me just 1 second. I'm running to the bathroom. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. Well, Steph will hopefully be back in a minute, and I just thought I'd throw up this in regards to Swamp Thing. I've actually never read Swamp Thing, but there was a lot of hype online. I noticed during the weekend for when all the the New York Comic Con news was coming out. There was a big thing about Rick Veitch's Swamp Thing issues. 88 to 91, which should have been published 36 years ago, are finally going to be printed under the Black Label imprint. Now, the storyline from what I've read and why it got canned was that Swamp Thing goes back in time and essentially meets Jesus Christ. There was a lot of controversy around this, and DC decided not to publish it. But there's some hype around bringing this back. And did you hear about this, Steph?
I did not.
Okay, yeah. So I was just while you were gone, I was just filling them in that these issues of Swamp Thing were never published 36 years ago because Swamp Thing went back in time and met Jesus, and DC decided to not print these.
Wow.
They've decided after 36 years to finally print these issues, so they'll be coming out next year.
Interesting. I will definitely be checking that out.
Okay, so this. I didn't throw up too much information here because there isn't that much information, but there is going to be a Swamp Thing crossover with Something Is Killing the Children called Swamp Thing Is Killing the Children.
Clever.
I'm not that hyped, if I'm honest.
No, I don't care. It's a clever titling for the wordplay because it's still I sict or whatever it is, the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
abbreviation, the hyphen. But I don't know.
I, I,
I
I
won't be
lost
checking it
interest.
out.
I lost interest in something as killing the children once they started going on and on and on, and I was like, no, I'm done. So
To be honest, it was maybe like the third arc in where I was like, okay, I think I'm done with this.
yeah.
It wasn't bad. I just didn't. Yeah, I
So
had no ambition to
moving
continue.
on in the same world, Vertigo have announced a bunch of books. The Vertigo line is returning, and we're getting a load of books here. So I've grabbed some of them, and you can see them on the video here. But there's a book called Bleeding Hearts by Dennis Camp, and a few other people. But this is it says here, a zombie named Poke discovers his heart beating again, threatening his place in a society where death reigns supreme. Color looks pretty cool, if I'm honest.
Art looks good. So, I sounds like Warm Bodies. I've noticed that with
Yeah,
Denny's
yeah,
Camp.
yeah.
Like he takes a lot of like ideas and just kind of is like, I guess everybody does that, but
Yeah.
art looks. I found a book I've read of his that I know he's like the big it guy right now, but I have not found a book yet that I'm like, yeah, I understand the hype.
Right, okay, so there's a book here called End of Life by Carl Starks, and a few other people here. A top-tier hitman returns to his Midwestern hometown to care for his dying father and confront his own morality. That one doesn't particularly excite me, if I'm honest, but can't pick all these things
Yeah.
up. This one I like the cover of. It reminds me of sort of Criminal.
Well,
Isn't
yeah,
it?
you got the
Jacob
with that
Phillips.
Texas Blood.
Yeah,
Creative.
and Chris Condon, yeah. So the peril of a brutal dark and Ezra Kane mystery. Yeah, it's definitely got that feel. I'll grab this one.
Yeah, solid creative team.
Yeah, I liked the Texas book you're referring to. Right,
I
100
actually really
bullets.
like what Chris Condone's been doing with Ultimate Wolverine. Have you been reading that one?
No, I haven't. That's something I need to read. I do want to jump back into the Ultimate books because, we'll talk about those in a minute. Right, 100 Bullets is coming back. The 100 Bullets of the US of Anger. It's probably very typical right now. So Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo is... okay, this is a summary. Lono returns to America and reignites chaos, taking the nation's darkest impulses to their violent extremes. Probably a book that maybe could have been held off by it, but anyway, I don't know anything about 100 Bullets. I never read the original run.
I read like the first couple issues. It was cool. I mean, I don't want to, I haven't read the entirety, so it was cool for what it was, but I can't really speak on being excited. I'm sure it ran for a while, so its return, I'm sure, is resonating with some readers, but that's cool though. I'm glad to see it back. I mean, I think that's a fitting book to have, that was such a big Vertigo book back in the day. I think it's fitting to see like an OG kind of return.
So, right, okay, there's a Ram V book called Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy. Wizard spies in the UK navigate a global Cold War. Do you know what? That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I'll grab that.
Yeah.
This one looks cool. I like the cover. Tom Taylor. It's a dinosaur, time travel, zombie, virus. Sounds pretty cool. What's it called?
I like that.
I'm not sure you say that.
Necretaceous.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there you go. That cover I think is cool. I like. You know what? I am a sucker for time travel. I love time travel stuff.
Necretaceous.
Yeah,
that is a weird. Yeah, no, that's a cool premise.
This book here called Fantastic by Grace Ellis and Hannah Templer. A woman's obsession with a comic book spirals into a deadly parasocial fixation on its creator. I don't think so for me.
I wait till word of mouth.
Yeah. Right here, The Crying Doll by Mariko Tamaki and Rosemary Valerie O'Donnell. A Jekyll and Hyde thriller about just how far a young woman would go to protect her best friend, who may or may not be a killer.
Yeah. Sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting. I feel like it would probably make a really good collected story, like a graphic novel. Right, The Waking Shadow by Simon Spurrier and Aaron Campbell.
So,
8 strangers wake up chained to a boat in the woods. No memory, no escape, no explanation. That sounds cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Simon Spurrier is a capable writer.
Has a feel like it kind of gives me that Saw feel from that first Saw film.
Oh yeah. Wake up drugged, no memory how you got there.
Right. Okay. So the X-Men. The X-Men. There's always stuff going on with the X-Men. There's the current Age of Revelation. The new subtitling is of tomorrow, and there's a whole load of new X titles. The main X-Men and Uncanny are returning. There doesn't seem to be anything about Extraordinary X-Men, so I'm assuming that book might be done. And I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of who all the creators are, but from what I could see, there's 3 minis been announced: Magic and Colossus, Cyclops, and Rogue. This is Cyclops' first solo book for quite a long time.
Yeah, it's been like what was it? I think Rucka. Was it Greg Rucka? Did he do solo book like 20? It was like the early 2010s.
I can't remember. I swear it was like 20 years ago or something. Right. Okay. So the next slide here is. These are some of the ongoings. I did forget to add. There's also going to be a Storm book. It's called Earth's Mightiest Mutant. It's a bit of a play on her being in the Avengers. We've also got Generation X-23, which appears to have X-23 in there, and Wade Wilson, Deadpool, and then Inglorious X-Force. Now that cover looks pretty cool. It's got Wolverine in it, which we know is Wolverine's son.
Docking. Oh, you're thinking of the Brian K. Vaughan Cyclops miniseries with Mark Texeira on art. No, they did a monthly. There was a monthly series that I'm pretty sure Greg Rucka wrote in like 2013, 2014. It was a young Cyclops from.
Yeah, it was the young Cyclops where he went into the future. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? The X-Gen. I was going to say that Generation X-23 is curious, just because I think we talked about this, but there's a Wolverine's book about a decade ago when they killed off Wolverine. Turns out Wolverine had all these like illegitimate children, and they were trying to get revenge or some weird shit. It's been a while since I read it, but the silhouettes in the background look like his bastard children.
That would be cool. Look, whenever I've heard about Generation X book, I have this like excitement that comes with underwhelming disappointment, sort of weird feelings. Me and Steph are huge fans of the original Generation X run with Skin and Mondo and Jubilee and Husk and Chamber. And can't we just get that book back? Whilst it's lovely to put X-23 in there, and I get why they're doing it, X-23, Wolverine, they sell. Us 90s kids want the Generation X run back.
They missed the mark. I mean, maybe it's because Hickman is such a fan of New Mutants, but they missed them. I think a Generation X title would have been more fitting for the Krakoan era than New Mutants. Like the book that was New Mutants, I think would have been better suited being called Generation X. Because when you think of New Mutants, you think of a specific squad. You know, you think of Sam, Bobby, Danny, Moonstar, Rain, Karma. Magma. You know, you think of a certain set of characters, but they were introducing like a lot, and I get it because New Mutants, but I just feel like Generation, like you say there's only I don't think Generation X resonates with as many people as New Mutants does. Like when you say Generation X, I don't think Chamber, Jubilee, Monette, Sync are automatically gonna pop into people's heads. Like some people didn't even know who Sync was until Hickman reintroduced him, you know. So I don't know. I think they definitely missed the opportunity with that. And yeah, it's just a cool title because they did it back in like 2017, but it was okay. It wasn't anything to run home about. But yeah, it's a cool title, great cast of characters. It's like, why can't they? It's been 20 years since they've all kind of been 20 plus years since they've been reunited or we've had anything with that Generation X squad. Like, can't we get like a one issue, one shot Generation X? I don't know.
Even like a 12-issue maxi. They commit to a 12-issue maxi series to put the squad together, Do you know what would be cool? Like maybe I should pitch it to them, but something like that they did, like because they were young kids, maybe something stupid that they did comes back to bite them. You know, maybe they could flash back to something they did as kids in the mansion, and then it comes back to bite them in the arse or whatever, something like, or maybe it's like M-Plate shows up and he goes up because M-Plate was like their big villain. Maybe M-Plate comes back and goes after them, and the team have to get back together, and you know,
Marvel won't do it because it's too much of a good idea.
Yeah.
I sent a pinch to Sobolski shortly after Deadpool and Wolverine. I was like, you should definitely greenlight a book called The Exiles, starring X-23, Gambit, Blade, and Elektra. You know, like, fans of The Exiles would get the whole, they're exiled from their universe. Like, fans of the comics would latch onto that. But then people who had just seen the damn movie were like, oh, I know those guys. They were just in Deadpool, Wolverine. But have we seen anything? Nothing. No. It took them actually 6 months. It was like January, February of this year when they released the Deadpool and Wolverine comic. That should have been released in July with the launch of the movie, or at least August. You know, no, it took them 6 months to release the movie, or a comic based off the movie that had just come out. But
did he respond to you?
Fuck no, not at all. Not at all. That's okay though. But yeah.
Well, he probably didn't. He saw the message and thought, "Oh, that's a good idea. I'll keep that." Right. Okay. One more slide, and then we'll move on from comics. The Ultimate Universe is ending. Yes, I did steal this photo from Bleeding Cool because I just Googled it and that's what I found. So the Ultimate Universe is ending in April 2026, and people are umming and ahhing about whether they agree, whether it is or it isn't.
I think it's a gimmick.
Do you think it's actually going to end?
No. If you're looking back at the OG Ultimate Universe and when it ended, the death of the Ultimate Universe, the advertisements had Tombstone starting 2000 to 2008. Like, you know, you had a good run, but you know, it's a little stagnant. So we're going to kill everybody off. They did not release it right away. You know, when they did the second wave where Bendis had did his Ultimate Spider-Man again with David LaFuente and Millar came back for Ultimate Avengers. Like, that was the second wave of the Ultimate Universe. They didn't promote that right away when they were doing the Ultimatum. You know, when Jeff Loeb, David Finch did Ultimatum. They waited a little bit. And it's, to be honest, that would be a stupid move because the Ultimate line is one of the more successful things Marvel has going for them right now. Definitely Ultimate Spider-Man. So just kind of, I don't know. I don't see them doing that. They're definitely, money speaks to them. So I don't see them canceling it. I think what is going to happen, go back and read Ultimatum and see how that played out and transition into another saga of the Ultimate Universe. I think the same shit's going to apply. Yeah, from what I've gathered from the new Ultimate Universe, it's just remixes certain things the OG Ultimate Universe did. You know, it's got a cool new coat of paint, but it's not too original. So it's like, if we're following that, it's successful financially. They're not going to just cancel it just because if that was the case, they would have canceled Hickman's X-Men run because his story was done. He left the book. No, they liked that era because it was getting money, and they stayed in that era for like 2 + 3, almost 3 years when Hickman wanted to leave that era. So
I've seen people online going back and forth about how, because of Hickman got burnt from him not being able to finish the Krakoa era, that they're going to allow him to actually finish up the ultimate run. But I'm like, I don't know, I don't buy it because the
ultimate run wasn't even his baby to begin with. That was Donny Cates, and he just kind of was like, yeah, you know, he's like one of the writers in the stable, so of course. And he's had the most history with like his Ultimates run in 2011, the third wave of the OG Ultimate Universe. Solid shit with Fassad Ribbit. But I do think he's burnt out, and even his Spider-Man is great, but it doesn't seem like your average Hickman book to me. You know, like if we're talking like, it's not supposed to be high concept, like, but you know, his Fantastic Four run, that's a high concept family book. He's got genuine moments, but I don't think it's reaching like the intimate moments that Fantastic Four reached. You know, his Spider-Man. You know, I know it's not Spider-Man's not supposed to be super high concept, but and mind you, I'm like an art behind too. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem. It seems like it's just a job for him right now with Ultimate Spider-Man. But I do think they're coming back. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's fine. in some ways, I kind of hope Hickman, well, I hope they're not lying to us, and I hope actually it'd be cool if Marvel actually did something they said they were going to do,
Yeah.
and actually, commit to it. If it genuinely are ending it, that would be cool. But I don't believe them, so
Not at all.
yeah. Right, I'm just going to share some TV news. Okay, so Daredevil Born Again season 2. We've had confirmation that Kristen Ritter is returning as Jessica Jones, which is cool. She was on stage. She came out, so it's not hearsay or anything like that. She actually came out and saw people at New York Comic Con. I think we all knew this was coming. There'd been a lot of news around, sort of speculation, mainly around her. But I think
hadn't they seen her on set for season 2?
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure they'd caught glimpses of her or something. But we just need news now about Luke Cage and Iron Fist now. So
to be honest,
they may as well now at this point.
I mean, you could easily recast too, because they're being smart about it. If we're looking at the Defenders Netflix stuff, Kristen Ritter and Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Jessica Jones are the side that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, due to play Luke, Mike Coulter was. I enjoyed Luke Cage season 1 quite a bit. I thought the last couple seasons, Punisher was weak too, to be honest.
They could bring Colleen, what's the name? Colleen,
well, yeah. I just don't want them to bring Danny Rand back. Like, that's the only dude like that as the Finn dude. I'm sorry, bro, you had your chance, like, and it didn't land. There's nothing you could do where I'm like, yo, he actually deserved that redemption. No, you had your shot. There's nothing else he could really do.
What about Danny so
pop.
before Homecoming? Sorry, No Way Home. Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, people were not keen on. Then he brought him back for No Way Home, and people massively changed their opinions, saying this is what somebody in the right hands can do with a character.
Well, I think it was more for me personally, because I've always been one of those people. I wasn't too keen on Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Still am. Now, like, I'm not hurt that he's not getting another movie. If they could find a way to bring him back and it worked, cool. But I'm not like, man, Andrew Garfield needs another Spider-Man movie. I think it was an injustice that he didn't like. It was cool to see him in Far From Home because he kind of got a closing arc that is some resolution, and I think that was like the audience. The audience got some resolution. Even like the fans of that character got some resolution with that character. He wasn't just left in limbo. But I don't know. It wasn't for me. I wasn't like, yeah. To be honest, Far From Home is probably the worst. Man, I gotta word this carefully. It's probably the worst out of that trilogy, structure-wise, movie-wise, because there's so much fan service. Like, if you take the fan service out of that movie, it's a very sloppy movie. There's not many moments. If you take the fan service out of it, there's really not that many deep moments. Like, a lot of the deep moments are structured around the fan service in that movie. So that I find that I'm another and I love it, but
I was gonna say I think that movie came at a perfect time though. It was during COVID. It was like a year of. It was almost
needed it.
Yeah, we needed it. But like quickly moving on here. So they've confirmed a 3rd season of Daredevil Born Again. Also, we were talking before this that they have there's a lot of talk about how Daredevil Born Again season 2 and the 4th Spider-Man film are going to be very well linked. Punisher's going to be a new Spider-Man. But basically, the showrunner and the people behind the movie have said that they are working together and they're both going to be highly linked, which is cool. Right, okay, so they've confirmed the Punisher TV special is live action at some point next year. X-Men 97, X-Men animated series, they've confirmed season 2 and 3. Season 2 will be released summer 2026. Nothing about season 3 yet. Apocalypse for the main villain. X-Men, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2 is going to be out later on this year.
Nice.
Vision Quest. The show is confirmed for 2026 release. It's confirmed in the 3rd and final chapter of the WandaVision trilogy, which I assume includes the witch show that we got last year. I've gone blank on the name now.
Agatha.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, brilliant show. That was actually such a good show from last year. They are going to have Paul Bettany's returning as Vision, which we obviously know. He's going to be returning alongside James Spader as a human form of Ultron, which I'm assuming is due to budget.
Interesting.
And then, which I really liked here, James Darcy is going to be returning as the human form of Jarvis, essentially reprising his role from Avengers, was it Endgame and Agent Carter, which I think is cool.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so Invincible season 4 has got a release date for March next year. Right, okay. I'm going to try something which will hopefully be cool. Let's hope this all works. Okay, so WandaVision trailer dropped the other day and is due to come out January next year.
The entertainment world is
they
done
dropped the
today.
trailer?
Internationally
Wonder
celebrated
Man,
and
Wonder
reclusive filmmaker Von Kovac sprung out of retirement to sign on for a remake of Wonder Man. Mr. Von Kovac, could you tell us more?
Everyone is tired of superheroes. There is an opportunity to reimagine a whole genre of storytelling.
Have you thought about casting?
So, what's this big audition you were talking about?
It's a huge opportunity. I'm auditioning for Wonder Man.
I love that he's back.
Did you hear about Wonder Man? I need to be in this movie.
Sorry, you crazy.
I was born to play this character.
Oh, you serious? Boo, they are already talking to Leo.
You just gotta go out there and crush it.
What's wrong?
I'm trying to come up with a backstory for the character.
Well, trust the words. Just show up and say them.
No, that's not my process.
Well, your process can go blow a spider.
The guy's killing it in there, bro.
Where have I seen him before?
Pretty sure he used to be a terrorist.
I love that.
Whenever you're ready.
Simon Williams, reading for Wonder Man.
Listen to me, Simon. The callback is happening now. Just be normal.
Normal man. The breakdown is go method.
Come in. Mr. Kovac will meet you in the living room.
So you all here to meet Von Kovac?
Hello, everyone. I want to explore the place between fiction and non-fiction.
That's tight.
We are going to make the last movie on Earth. No one will have the balls to make another. And action!
Any news from Von Kovac?
There is news. You'll be the first to know.
Unless you call me again, in which case I will never tell you.
I didn't see the full trailer. That was my first time. It does.
Yeah. Like
It seems like
I assume that he's not really a superhero. I assume it's just more.
No, yeah. Isn't that how Simon Williams started in the comics though? He was an actor, like, and he became like. But it's cool. It seems like Marvel is actually trying to get back to what made it tick before, where it was like. Yeah. I don't want to say there wasn't bombastic superhero shit going on, but it's like they're trying to get back to like making these characters pop and not just the gimmick of this overarching. I mean, we still got Doomsday coming. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. That seems like such a unique flavor compared to like any other MCU show I've seen so far. We didn't see any fights. We didn't see any comic book. Like villains. Right, yeah. But so. It looks unique. I mean, and Abdul Mateen is a phenomenal actor. Like, have you ever seen you've seen the Watchmen show, yeah?
No, I actually haven't. Do you know what? I've saved it because do you know what? I didn't watch it at the time, and then as we done this show podcast, to spoil things slightly, the plan is to eventually do like a Watchmen month of Geeks and Niche, the graphic novel, the film, the animated stuff, all that. It was meant to be a thing. So actually I wanted to run that past you. Right. But yeah, so I held off in the end thinking, we'll do it on here, but no, I haven't seen it. No. So.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll get to that. But no, he was fantastic in that he played quite an iconic character. I didn't think anyone saw coming. But to be honest, I didn't really. Aquaman films are fine for what they are. I find it crazy that it's the highest grossing DC movie, and when it's really there's nothing special that much about it. But I think his performance as Black Manta was one of my favorite. Saving. I like Jason Momoa. I didn't really care for him as Aquaman. I'll be honest. I'm so glad he's playing Lobo. That's such a better fit. It was like Momoa as Aquaman to me seemed like Mark Millar choosing casting for like edgy. It had to be edgy and cool. Zack Snyder's kind of like the director version of Mark Millar in a way. They appeal to like the cool teenage sensibilities in you. As kids, you'll eat their shit up. But I
was gonna say, do you know what I think with this Wonder Man thing? Just before I forget, it's 8 episodes, right? And they're probably going to be near to about an hour each. So whilst we saw a surface level comedy of moments, I reckon most of that's probably from the first episode.
Yes.
And I think that's barely showing you anything of what you're going into. And I think if you go back to say WandaVision, the first 2 episodes of that were nothing of what the TV series was going to be about as it went on beyond those first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And I think Marvel is very clever. I genuinely think we've got a lot from the first episode, not from the series. So
yeah, it's a good hook. It's a good hook. It's a struggling actor, man, and that's I don't think we've that's a unique. I mean, it is unique within the comics itself, but it's a unique position within the MCU. Like he's an actor who becomes a superhero.
So. Wonder Man. God, I'm going to keep doing that. I know I am. Wonder Man, release date 27th of January next year. And that's kind of all I've really got, really. So on that, now I've got a couple more trailers. I'm going to show you a TV series one, which is from Paramount Plus.
The Starfleet Academy trailer starts now.
Caleb.
That one, right there.
So this is Star Trek Starfleet Academy.
We have our own ship. We are going to go visit
First, that's right.
Bye-bye, Mommy!
I love you!
I'm so sorry. You hold on to how much you hate me right now, kid.
Paul Giamatti.
It'll keep you warm at night.
Oh yeah.
Caleb, I've been looking for you every single day for the last 15 years. Come with me to Starfleet Academy. The Federation will help you find your mother.
That thing is taking us to the school?
That is the school.
Being a cadet in Starfleet Academy means being open to the people around you.
Oh, I love her.
Sometimes I feel invisible, but mostly.
Oh,
Let's go! Show me you're worthy of this
the Doctor.
I want to be captain. I need to be captain.
My family, you're either the center of the universe or you're nothing.
A warrior does not let a friend face danger alone.
I've spent my whole life getting away from stuff, letting someone in. It's hard.
If I lose control, I can hurt people.
Doesn't scare me.
I'll owe you something. It is coming with a big red bow just for you.
Is anybody listening?
Man, why does everything have to be a full-on lesson in this place?
Because it's a school, Caleb. It's time for you to stop telling the story. Be a part of it.
So that premieres on the 15th of January with 2 episodes and then 8 episodes running until March 12th. I think that's pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah, it gave me the vibes of like the J.J. Abrams reboot from, with Chris Pine.
Oh, yeah,
and all them.
yeah. So this is set
I enjoyed those
in the
movies.
future. So I don't know if you followed Star Trek at all. So did you watch Star Trek Discovery at all?
No.
Okay, so Star Trek Discovery started as a prequel to the original series, and then at the end of season 2, they jumped forward into the future, but the furthest future, like beyond any, thing, past generation, the next generation, etc. And there was no Starfleet, so this is going to be the kind of new Starfleet, and that's why you're following all these cadets and stuff like that. It's like a brand new Starfleet they're putting together. But I love the fact that you got the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm kind of a green shirt when it comes to, or red shirt when it comes to Star Trek, but I respect it. I definitely more of my deepest knowledge base is the Picard. That's not Discovery?
That's Picard is Next Generation.
Yes, okay, yeah, that's the one I'm most familiar with. But I did enjoy the J.J. Abrams films, even the third one that was Justin Lin, I think.
Films, yeah.
But yeah, it's got fun energy.
I was gonna say I've always been quite a big Star Trek fan. I'm not like one of those Star Trek geeks, but I do love following a Star Trek show. The only one I've never watched is Deep Space Nine. Never watched that one, so I should, but I just never get around to it. Right, 2 more trailers to show you. One is only 1 minute long. It is a teaser for Mortal Kombat 2.
Filmmaking doesn't get much bigger than this. This is the way Mortal Kombat is meant to be seen.
We had to up the ante on every aspect.
The fatalities.
The flawless victories. The sequel is bigger in every way possible.
That's what it's designed for. Fans of fun, action, adventure, and it's such a huge undertaking.
You've never seen a Mortal Kombat in this massive scale.
This is an epic story that we have the opportunity to tell.
When I first met Carl on set, I was like, oh, here's Johnny Cage. Oh my gosh.
It's showtime.
Get over here! This is Mortal Kombat.
Finish him!
So do you know that was meant to come out this year, but because Warner Brothers have done so well financially this year, they've shoved it into next year. So they released this teaser over the weekend for New York Comic Con. Do you know what? If Jasmine is watching, even if it's a rewatch, she initially killed me because I slated Mortal Kombat when the trailer for the first movie came out, and then I watched it and loved it. And even then we went back and rewatched some of the old ones, and the original Mortal Kombat I loved. Annihilation was terrible, but this actually looks really good. I'm definitely against the cinema.
I'm a fan of all the Mortal Kombat movies, to be honest.
What, even Annihilation?
Even Annihilation. I actually saw Annihilation in the theaters, man. I still remember. It was like my dad took me to see it. I begged him to take me to see it. It was nowhere as good as the first one, but I always liked the second Sub-Zero, his brother or whatever, that had like the slick back hair. I always thought he was the coolest looking one. I guess he's the original, isn't he? Or I think he plays his brother in the movie, but yeah, I just always thought he was so cool looking, and they had him in the movie, and yeah. And Johnny Cage gets his neck snapped, and that was devastating to me as a kid.
All right, I've got one more trailer to show you, and I'll be honest with you, I thought this looked really cool. I deliberately have held off watching the trailer. It's MGM/Amazon now, because that's who they own. This is a movie, Chris Pratt. It's called Mercy. It comes out January 23rd. Here you go.
Get me out of this chair.
Detective Raven, I'm Judge Maddox, and this is the Mercy Capital Court, a judicial system powered by artificial intelligence.
Hold on, just wait a second.
With crime rates soaring, lawmakers voted for mercy. By acting as judge, jury, and executioner, Mercy keeps our city safe.
I shouldn't be here. I helped create the Mercy program. I'm proud to have sent the first suspect for trial here, and I will continue to send more until the message is received.
Detective Raven, I know precisely who you are. You're before this court today charged with the murder of your wife.
Oh my God.
Your guilt must fall below the 92% threshold, or you will be executed in precisely 90 minutes.
I loved my wife. I didn't hurt her.
Detective Raven, the city's municipal cloud is at your disposal. Every camera, cell phone, and database.
You must gather evidence to exonerate yourself. If you are innocent, prove it.
I need to find out who killed my wife.
It's a classic crime of passion, Chris, and it all points right at you. You don't get the mercy trial unless you're guilty.
I didn't hurt Mom, I swear to God. Show me everyone she had contact with. She was seeing someone. How's my guilt looking now?
It has risen to 98%. You just provided me with a strong motive of why you murdered her.
Good. Wow. Thank you for that.
Mr. Raven, the clock is ticking.
Tell me what Nick was up to.
She was stressed about work. She said some chemicals went missing.
The estimated street value would be in excess of $16 million.
Do you honestly think that I killed my wife? Or were you just programmed wrong? I need to walk the scene.
No, I have something here.
This is a terrorist's handbook.
Get out. Get out of there.
Mr. Raven, you're running out of time.
Chris, what do you got it into? There's a bomb in that truck.
It's heading downtown.
This was never about my wife. This was about me and you.
Medic! Get me out of here!
So I held off watching that until I came on with you. I kind of wanted to gauge your opinion because it's like AI, which is like something so prevalent at the moment. And I love Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson, especially Rebecca Ferguson. I think Rebecca's a great actor. But AI is, and do you know what? Actually, I didn't mention this earlier. AI came up a lot at the New York Comic Con. Both Marvel and DC said they'll never use AI and sort of talked anti this. And you know, everyone's embracing AI for just such easy things right now. And you could see in real life that we could fall into the trap of, you know, allowing people to be judged by AI or decisions being made by AI or information gathering for court cases. And yeah, what do you think of that trailer?
It reminds me of Chris Pratt's version of Minority Report. I like Chris Pratt, but I can't. First impressions are a big thing, and I'm always gonna look at him as the guy from Parks and Rec. Like I can't take him seriously. Like he's not bad, but I can never take him seriously as an action star. Like he's in the Jurassic World movies; they're fun, but him trying to be like this kind of Indiana Jones, it doesn't. He can't. I don't know. I know him in the minority. I like him, but I can't take him as an action hero. Like Star-Lord, Peter Quill, perfect fit for him because he's a goofy superhero, you know. But Chris Pratt trying to be a badass, I can't take seriously. There was a movie on like Amazon Prime where it's about parents who were being taken from the past to help their kids fight in the future. I think it was called like not Extraction, but it was just a vehicle for Chris Pratt and to be an action star, and it wasn't very good. This kind of gives me the same vibe, to be honest. Like it's just a vehicle for Chris Pratt. The element, it's cool, but I don't think they're gonna go anywhere with it. I think it's just a popcorn movie. You know, I don't think.
This is.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
This is a movie because of what's going on right now. Like this is a typical. We'll make a film.
Your response to
it's a response to social commentary and it's feeding into a lot of the conversations that are going on right now. So they've built.
But it's like
it's very typical of Hollywood to jump on something that people are already talking about.
Is relevant. That's what it reminds me of like a Michael Bay trying to approach the topic of terms of like, you know, like I'm going to give you something really entertaining about this nuanced concept, you know. I'm going to give you just like, I don't know. It reminds me. I don't know. It probably will be entertaining. I don't think it's going to be anything special.
So the thing is, I've told you this I may have said this on here before, but Steph knows. I pay £16 a month for a premiere pass to go to the cinema unlimited. Now I go and see films that I can, because I can go and see whatever I want. I will go and see this. But then I have like these two categories of films that I would actually pay to see without the premiere pass, and films that I'd go to see because I've got the premiere pass. Like last night I went and watched a film that I wouldn't have paid to go and see. This is a film that I wouldn't pay to go and see. This is a film that I would wait. Yeah. This is not good enough. So if you think how much money it costs now, it can cost something like between 9 to 15 quid to go and see a film in the cinema, or like for one person a ticket. This is why I pay £16 a month, because I love the cinema, so I don't mind paying £16 a month.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah. It's completely unlimited. So I would not pay to see this film individually. It looks like a real cheese ball, kind of like, you know, The Rock, that type of action film, cheesy action film. And you know, look, I'm not saying by the end of it I might enjoy it, I might have a smile on my face, but I tell you what, a year after it come out, I've forgotten all about it. So it's very I think there's a lot of Minority Report in this as well. But Minority Report was actually a really good film. So
that's true, and I love it. And shout out to Rebecca Ferguson, because she's a phenomenal actor.
She's a great actress.
Paycheck. You know, it's a shame. She's kind of giving me the vibes. Wasn't she in no, it wasn't her. I'm thinking of that movie with Tom Cruise where he's a clone. He's
Oblivion.
Yes. That wasn't a Rebecca Ferguson, was it?
I don't think that was Rebecca Ferguson.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe check.
Give me vibes.
Olga something. Who played Julia.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, Julia.
So there was a couple other things they announced, and then we'll wrap things up. So the Game of Thrones prequel, release date for that is January 18th next year.
Nice.
There is an Welcome to Derry prequel, which they've announced as well. Apparently, it's going to explore a hidden story in the Stephen King novel. I'm sure it'll be good.
I'm excited about it. It's got Skarsgård, right? Skarsgård's coming back as Pennywise. The Welcome to Derry show.
I didn't write down the cast, but anyway, I'm sure people can Google it. But is anything from New York Comic Con that you saw that you particularly thought was good, or anything that we've discussed that stands out to you? Anything you're excited about?
Wonder Man. It looks different. I don't want to say ballsy for Marvel, but they could have easily taken that another route, and I'm glad that they're keeping good on their word, where they said they're trying to refine their product going forward, and from the trailer it looks like they're trying to do that.
Yeah, I look, you know, actually Wonder Man is probably the most excited I'm TV wise, although I am pleased for I am also excited for Daredevil season 2, with especially Jessica Jones. Those two things there. Comics wise, I think some of those Vertigo books are pretty popping, and do you know what, some of those X-Men books as well look pretty cool. But look,
I'm Marvel. The cover, the art looks amazing, but I think Marvel, when they don't show who the creative teams are on these books, it shows they don't have faith in their own product. When they're trying to omit the creative teams from the titles and shit, like, you got to go look at. Usually, when it's a great creative team, they're gonna plaster that shit on the cover, so you know who's gonna.
You can go searching for it. You can go searching for them.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. They don't have any faith in their own product if they're making you go look up who's going to be the creative team on the book.
Well, I think Marvel, if at the moment, and I've said this privately to quite a few people, I'm more excited by DC books right now than Marvel, which is weird because Marvel has what got me into comics, but DC at the moment, most of my money is going to DC right now, like for the new books, and actually
because they have a vision.
Well, even actually going back, and I've started to go and buy old stuff from DC, and it's really weird. Someone said to me the other day, "Oh, are you a DC fanboy then?" I was like, actually, weirdly, I'm a Marvel. Like, you know, I was like a Marvel boy. Like I got into, you know, the Clone Saga and, you know, just other, like, even the X-Men, everything. That was where all my money went. So
Right.
anyway, yeah, those things are cool. And I think from those new line of DC books, I think Batwoman, if I'm honest with you, out of all of them, Batwoman will be the one I probably grab. But look, Steph, thank you for the first episode. I know we had some technical issues, and it's been a really great. I haven't done a news episode for a long time, so it's been really cool to chat this with you. I think me and you are we've got a lot of similar interests, which is one of the reasons why I asked you to come on board. And yeah, it's been a great first episode, and hopefully one of many. And in fact, when I say one of many, me and Steph decided to double down this week. We are doing a second episode tomorrow, and we're just going to be talking about Peacemaker. We're not going to going to do anything else. We're just going to jump into Peacemaker season 2, just as a whole season wrap up. You can follow us on social media, Geeks and Niches at Instagram, Facebook, X, Blue Sky, etc. But in all honesty, the place we're the most active is Instagram. And also, you can listen to this podcast if you are listening to it on all your usual stuff: Podbean, Google, Apple, Spotify, etc. And also, please leave us a 5-star review, and please share this with all your geeky friends. And again, Steph, look, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. And everyone, thanks for listening and watching, and we will say goodbye.